I truly believe this is outer darkness. You didn't think that Eve and Adam would be cast into any place else, did you? Even Joseph Smith said the lowest kingdom celestial is so much more glorious than this. You mean it's even more glorious than the spirit prison in paradise? And by the way, paradise, I'm going to talk about you betters. You act like you don't bet, but you do, Mormons. Oh, we will be better. Heavenly Father, you said, or God, the eternal Father, or the Spirit that is the Spirit of God. When he was creating, he kept saying, and he saw that it was good, and it is good. And you say Mormon means more good, but yet you want to be better. Day 2 of creation, he saw that it was good, and it was good. Day 3, it was good. Day 4, it was good. In fact, he never said, day 5, and now it is better. You see, God does not, your Heavenly Father, call him that. I'm going to call him your Son. He creates out of fullness, not out of lack. He doesn't go, oh, I'm empty. I must get full. I must make better. He doesn't do that. You even know he has a fullness of joy. Okay? So out of his fullness and an expression of his joy, he just rejoices and just makes. He doesn't make because he doesn't have enough. He makes because he's overflowing with joy. So, we like to be better, and it was worse. That's because you've been following degrees. Masons know about degrees, and I won't get into that. Joseph Smith was a Mason. All degrees are on one stick. That's a ruler. You measure it with. We measure things with a ruler. Look, a ruler is I was an elementary school teacher, so I know about rulers. I had one on my desk. And people would take that ruler and go measure things in my class. And I would say, well, there's the ruler, there's the rule. Did you make that ruler up? Do you know what a ruler is? Look at those degrees. Look between the lines. Magnify what you see. What are you looking at? Where did you put the lines? I cannot make a line without all that is to be the line as well in between it. Do you ever read between the lines, or do you just look at the lines instead? You made that ruler up and say, this is the law now. I'm sorry, that is a ruler. And now you call it God instead. I'm sorry, we have no other gods before him. He's eternal. So I would take your ruler and say, your ruler is broken. Now go measure it somewhere else. You joy beyond measure? Oh, you say work and a joy beyond measure. What is that hymn you sing? I sing it many times. Work is a pleasure, a joy beyond measure. And you're trying to measure it. Are you going to rate us with your rules now? You see, that is why we don't base it on degrees. We understand the degrees. I'm going to rest right now, and I'll come back in a moment. Joseph Smith was a Mason, a 33rd degree Mason. The Masons claim to trace their roots back to the Temple of Solomon. But Mormons, you trace yours to the Temple of David, for you use stakes. And yet you still measure with degrees the worth of a soul. I want to talk about myself for a few minutes before I go on, because there are a few things that have happened in my life that I feel are pertinent to this conversation here. When I was 19 years old, I was a Latter-day Saint, and we were living in Canada at the time, and I was taking a nap on the floor in my parents' house. This is before my mission. And while I was taking a nap, somebody called me by a name that is not my given name. My name is Rob, Robert, Rob, and woke me up. And this is the first time something like that had ever happened to me. And said 3 times, called me by a name, and said, it was a female voice. It sounded female to me, a very beautiful female voice, loud and clear. David, David, David. I heard all three of them, and I woke up, and I said, why is somebody calling me David? That's not my name, but I know you're calling me, and I knew you were calling me, but that's not my name. I felt like you are calling me, but that's my name, but that's not my name. Why are you calling me this name? Are you a ghost in the house? We lived in an old house at the time, and I thought maybe I believe in spirits, I don't know. Are you a ghost? Why are you calling me? Are you confusing me with someone? I kept thinking, and it just went through my mind. That was back in 1990. And I was a Latter-day Saint. Of course, I don't believe in things like, nothing, reincarnation or anything like that. No, nothing to that. And I was getting ready to go on a mission. And so I did go on my mission. And I worked very hard, went on my mission. For many years, I did not understand that. I thought, oh, well, I will tell you what I did think. I knew it was a special experience, and I thought when I got to go to the temple to get my temple endowments, I thought, well, surely that's going to be my new name, and maybe it was a sign. And I went to the temple, and that was not the name they gave me, although they did give me a name. And I'm not going to reveal it, of course, even though I have had my name taken off the records of the church, and I'll tell you why. I have never been excommunicated or anything like that. So I was always in good standing when I was a Latter-day Saint, and I still am. I haven't done anything that they would say I could not be a member at all. I haven't, even though some people may think I have. I haven't. So, but I thought it was going to be my new name, and it wasn't, and that was kind of confusing. I was kind of a letdown, but I didn't tell anyone. In fact, I only mentioned it to my parents once, and I didn't really say much about it for years. The name that I was given, I won't tell you, but it was associated with the number 8. And the number 8 means something. And I didn't know that for years either until this past 7 or 8 months. I didn't even know it was associated with the Star of Melchizedek. I want to also give you something else. I'll go back on that story and let you know. My birthday is also very peculiar, and I didn't know this for years. My birthday is August, which is the 8th month. 8th. My birthday is August 8th, 1970. And I was looking up Chaldean and Kabbalistic numerology because I look up a lot of different things. And 1970 add up to, let's see, 9, 10, I use my fingers, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. And then you're supposed to add those two digits together again, the 7, the 1, and the 7, which is 8. My birthday is 888, and I think that's important too. I wanted to tell you why I'm saying this is because, well, I will tell you the story. After that had happened, I didn't know for years. I didn't know, and it was not until that happened in 1990. 1990, and then in 91, I went on my mission, and I was there. I was gone for 2 years. Came back, went to school, got married, went to LDSSA, and I was a very active member. I loved reading church books. I was the weirdest guy. I would go down to the bookstore, and if it said Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it went through correlation, so I'd buy it. I'd read Mormon Doctrine. I read the Doctrines of Salvation by Joseph Fielding Smith, all 3 volumes. I loved them. Oh, they were highlighted. I read Gospel Doctrines by Joseph F. Smith. I read the Teachings of the Prophet Brigham Young. I would read the Teachings of the Prophet Joseph Smith. I'd read the Teachings of Spencer W. Kimball. I would read everything. I read it all. And I loved it, and I soaked it in. In fact, I loved it so much that I actually had this nice collection of these books. I said, if I'm a Mormon, I want to know everything about it. This is my religion. So I would get my name and silliness and engrave them all in these books in gold. And I spent money getting it. It was just kind of silly, but I had them. They were very special to me. I would go down to the church education building and check out books too. That was just how I was. My ex-wife can tell you at the time, I was very much up on stuff like that. Reading the Ensign. I read the Book of Mormon on my mission.